Good afternoon. Casey Durango here with Go Keto with Casey. Good afternoon. Go Keto with Casey here. I never can tell whether I've gone live or
Casey
not.
Durango
So
here with Go Keto with Casey.
hold please. Thanks for joining me and everyone. Hi, Dory, Karen, Kelly. Thank you for showing up early. It is a gloomy day here. We, in my part of the world, we totally avoided the bad part of Irma, but that's a big storm because even here it is windy and overcast. So kind of a gloomy day, a little chilly. Hope everyone, if you've been through the storm already, I hope you fared well. If you're in the middle of it, I certainly hope you're not paying any attention to the YouTube. And I hope everyone's okay. A lot of stressors going on in the world right now, and a lot of them of our own making and some of them nature, which might be our own making as well. Today's topic is the ways that keto changes us. And it's more than just fitting into a new jeans size, which is great when it happens. It's great victory to, start at size 24W as I did and work your way down until now I can't shop there anymore for jeans because they don't have my size. That's great. And it's great to be able to fit into narrower shoes, which is another thing that is cool. Get cute shoes instead of kind of industrial shoes. But what other changes are there? And I chatted on the little snippet visits that I now make for patrons most mornings. Other changes start to happen, and some of them we don't expect. Some of the changes are surprising. When you kind of get things under control as far as food goes, particularly for those of us for whom our weight, our size, our appearance, our mental state of being, our preoccupation with food, even when we didn't want to eat it, but we ate it anyway, and then kind of food was the overarching theme every day. When that's washed to the side, once you start burning fat for fuel rather than sugar, one of the first changes is you realize you're not compelled to eat all the time. That's a change in itself. And then as it becomes really fine-tuned, you realize, well, I've got a lot more time in my hands. I am not spending all my day thinking about food or shopping for food or preparing for food. And we have talked about this before, but as that happens, thoughts, issues, tasks, which were pushed to the side as we literally pushed them down with food, we kind of we medicated with the food so we didn't have to deal with the issues, or we just were so busy, we said, well, I can't think about that right now. I've got to go to the grocery store. Or I've got to cook this huge meal 3 times a day and pack lunch, snacks and everything. Little by little, things start to fall away. Time makes itself available. Room in your brain comes available. But then what happens? Things percolate to the top. That issue that you were medicating with food before, now you kind of have to deal with it. Just you and the issue. And as the issues are dealt with, and maybe that clears away the cobwebs of some kind of long, lingering resentment or bad feeling or soured relationship or whatever it might be, and you deal with those, well, then others percolate to the top. And then you might find yourself becoming a person you didn't even know you were. You might be stronger than you realized. When you are no longer feeling okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Someone said, where's Casey? Can you guys see me? I am so sorry. Can everyone see me? It's public. I'm here. Someone say hey. Say hey. Sorry about this. Okay, someone writes, close YouTube and open again to see. You don't have video. You know, they're gremlins. I do this the same way every time, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, I'm just going to keep plowing on. Sometimes we didn't stand up for ourselves because we didn't feel self-confident enough. Even those of us with pretty strong personalities, and I will list myself under that category, a person with a strong personality. Just because I have a strong personality and a strong intellect does not mean that I always felt self-confident enough to speak up for myself. Whether it be to, you know, ironing out an issue with my lovely mate, or dealing with a disappointment with a friend or a coworker, or literally standing up for myself when something is unfair, or having an unpleasant conversation, but a necessary conversation with the child. Sometimes you don't feel strong enough to do that or worthy enough. But as you peel away, literally peel away the layers that have covered you and literally weighed you down, sometimes you find, wow, there was kind of a warrior under there. I never realized. Or I now at least have enough faith in myself to try something I was not going to try before. It could be something like trying to ride a roller coaster, and you wouldn't try it because you were afraid the bar coming down would hit your stomach and they'd have to ask you to get out. Ugh, mortifying. You may be willing to try horseback riding. I never wanted to go horseback riding. I was afraid I'd break the horse, and I'm not exaggerating. You may find that you have the self-confidence to advise your boss that you need to have a conversation with her about an issue. You may find that you can have a discussion with an in-law who's been trying to shame you and force you to get more exercise. You never know. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here today. I'm actually seeing this as a positive. I'm not trying to bring up a lot of negative stuff. But there's more that changes, at least there has been with me, than just my shirt size. A lot has changed. I think most of it for the better. Some other people might disagree. Some people might miss the old Casey. I don't. Really. I mean, I've always been a kind person, I think. I don't think I've ever been a meanie. I might have been moody, but I don't think I was ever a meanie. But I don't really miss that old state of mind. I was always an okay person, but I don't miss the person I was inside my own head, my own reflection of myself, how I saw myself, and the pigeonhole I put myself. You know, we could say, oh, people want to pigeonhole you. We pigeonhole ourselves often. I believe this. I know I did. So think about if you find yourself a little weirded out because things are changing and it seems weird and change is scary, change is hard. But so often change is awesome. Just plow through that change. You know, if the change is, I think I'm going to go out and start clubbing every night until 2 a.m. and see what I can pick up. Maybe not as a good change, because no telling what you might pick up, if you know what I'm saying. But maybe be open to the possibility that the way you've been doing things is not the way you have to do things. And on Patreon this morning's little snippet, I think, was something to the effect of when you remember things that you didn't even know you'd forgotten that you ever wanted to even do. Because so many of us have removed goals or hopes or dreams from our list that we've forgotten that we even ever wanted to do them. And maybe one of the changes is you remember, oh, you know what? I always wanted to learn how to tango. I always wanted to sign up for a 5K. I always wanted to wear a pencil skirt. It could be anything. You might have just forgotten you ever wanted to do it. And that can be part of the change. Part of the change is I'm remembering things that I forgot I ever wanted to even do them. Forget about things that I used to do and I stopped doing. A topic that comes up a lot is clothes. I was talking to a young lady yesterday. She needs much smaller clothes. And she was a little demoralized. She had gone to a store and there's a hummingbird. I love it. They're a little late for hummingbirds this year. Outside my window. She'd gone into a store and was feeling terrible. She was trying on the clothes and thought they looked terrible. And she knows intellectually she's lost a lot of weight. A lot of weight. I look terrible. When am I ever going to start looking good? And she was really depressed, and she comes back out with all the clothes. And her young daughter now had been at another store, now is in the store waiting. Mom, what's wrong? Oh, I look terrible on these clothes. When am I ever going to start looking better? Let me see. So she puts on the clothes and steps out, and the third grade daughter says, Mom, they do look awful. They're too huge for you. They're too big. What? Yes, they don't look good because they're too big. That's a change that many of us find difficult. It's one for which we are not prepared. Our bodies change faster than our recollection of ourselves very often. And it comes up over and over and over again. It comes up on Keto After 40 with Casey. It comes up on people I talk to. It comes up on discourse. The entire strings have been written about, I know I can fit in these clothes in the regular department. I'm just afraid to go in there. Weird. So, change. It's more than just your genes, your gene size. And it's more than just your number on the scale. This is a truly life-changing experience. It has been for me. I feel, you should pardon the expression, bulletproof. I feel like I have found the fountain of youth. I don't look youthful, but I feel youthful. I'm not going to live forever, but I truly feel like, God willing, and, bolts of lightning and tanker trucks not running over me, tomorrow is promised to no one. We know this. But all of the things being equal, I feel like I'm in this for the long haul, and I mean the long haul, and I intend to be a vital person, and that's a change. That's a huge change. From January 7th, 2014, the day before I started this, when I thought, gosh, I don't even know how long I want to live if I'm going to feel like this every day the rest of my life, physically and emotionally and mentally, to now I think I'm going to live to be 115. And a rockin' 115-year-old. I'm going to be one of those 115-year-old people that the Today Show has on, right? Casey, what's the secret of your longevity? Oh, lots of saturated fat, bacon, and a lovely mate. So, and scotch sometimes. So, if you feel like you're occupying someone else's body, you might be. If you feel like things are changing quickly and it makes you a little unsettled, that's okay. You'll get through it. You should be unsettled. It's weird. It's weird to not be hungry. It's weird to have weight coming off. Now, that doesn't mean it drops off in giant chunks, right? A pound a month is fine. There were years all I wanted to do was lose 10 pounds in the entire year. So a pound a month, pound and a half a month is great. More is great. Losing inches and not weight is great. Feeling better is great. Getting your brain back is great. So if all this change is freaking you out. Allow yourself a little bit of a freak out, and then realize, but that's what I wanted. I wanted change. I wanted things to change. I'm getting what I wished for. Okay? So I am, thank you for allowing me to chat and give my little lecture to myself. You know, when I'm talking, half the time I'm talking to myself. They say one of the best ways to learn something is to try to teach it. And I'm not a teacher, but I'm a talker. And so when I'm verbalizing thoughts, it helps me. So thank you for helping me. Let me turn to what some of the comments are. And I do want to acknowledge people. Hey, Wanda Landers, a phenomenon. Sometimes I feel like I just got born over. Go keto. Wanda's lost 102 pounds. She's bringing her doctor along. She's consistently positive. She's very helpful. She's very active on Keto After 40 with Casey. So she is happy to share her story. Now, I see someone saying, thank you, Pamela. Is Pamela Ramsar in the house? And if so, do you have your blood results from Dr. Kaplan? I would love to know. Okay, Stephen Krizak, after falling off the keto wagon, I've started over again 2 weeks ago, 50 years old, fighting the sugar cravings and the boom, too fast. Yep, falling off the wagon can happen. I will say it's not happened with me, but I was pretty miserable when I started. And it just clicked. There was just something about the message from Dr. Eric Westman that clicked with me. I don't know whether it's the message itself, his tone of voice, his boyish good looks, the white coat, or is it just made sense to me? But it did. And then the science made sense to me. Kim, hi. Love you being a talker because I am not. Kim, for those of you who don't know, is in Germany and she's starting her own little movement and is a great contributor to Patreon, and her posts and videos on Discourse, which is the closed forum on Patreon, open to all patrons, no matter what level, is great. Always, we love Kim. Just got back on the wagon, writes Angel at his feet. And, oh, Pamela, don't have the results yet. He loved his book. He said, maybe I can lose this by trying this way of eating. You know, I talked about this on the Facebook thing. When your doctor resists, what do? And there are some options. You know, you can be very firm and say, well, I'm not having that doctor anymore. You can try to educate your doctor. Some might be open to the information. Some may not be. Some are pretty ego involved, and they certainly don't want to hear from their lowly patients who, you know, what can they know? I'm a doctor after all. So, you know, they may not be open. If you cannot get any satisfaction and you have the means to do it, you can reach out to a service like healclinics.com. Dr. Eric Westman is the chief medical officer for it. This is a series of clinics within clinics. They're not freestanding doctor's offices, but they are clinics to treat obesity and type 2 diabetes without any medications, period. If you're on medications for things, they work with you on that, but you're not going to be treated for type 2 diabetes or obesity with injections and pills and potions and powders. So there are options. It is not covered by insurance, but it's a really good, it's a great thing. And it's a movement. It's a mission, actually, Dr. Westman's mission, to quit trying to treat people for conditions with medication when food will do the trick. But Pamela is helping her doctor learn and is taking him books on it. It's great. Heather Silva. Okay, moving by too quickly. I won't try to read this. Sandra Gary, I have the thyroid that isn't active. Do you think keto can help me lose weight? Yes, this has been asked many, 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 many times. Hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, no thyroid, no gallbladder, kidney stones, gout. You can do this. Lymphedema, lipodema. You can do this. Yes, the thyroid is not an issue. I know it's kind of an old wives' tale that, oh, your thyroid's all screwed up, can't lose weight. Nope, this is excellent. Fatty liver disease. Not only is this not bad for fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, it's the cure. Not only is it not bad for type 2 diabetes, it's the thing to do. It's just the. If you are a type 2 diabetic and on insulin, do not do this without your physician's knowing about it, because you very possibly will need to reduce your insulin very, very quickly if you follow the protocol appropriately, because you don't want your blood sugar to drop too low. Okay. Okay, you guys are having a conversation, which I do love. I'm going to say the support group setting is great. Oh, and a reminder, Greensboro, North Carolina, Greensboro Keto Meetup is at 6 p.m. at Tex and Shirley's Pancake House. A reminder, the weather is blustery but not dangerous. It's just overcast and like blustery. But we're not even close to being close to the storm. So 6 o'clock, we have a private back room, and you don't have to order, but if you do want to, there's they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day long, and I'm looking forward to it. I will have some Adapt products. People have asked to have those, so I'll have those. I now take a credit card. I'm getting all highfalutin. And if you want to order Adapt products, I don't use them, but I endorse them. I just don't need convenience foods to keep me compliant, because you can see what's behind me. Fridge full of boiled eggs and bacon. So if I need a little something, I just eat food, and always eat food, always eat real food. But for those of you who travel a lot, you're in your car a lot, someone reached out to me and said, we're on the cattle ranch. We're always out in the field, literally, all day long. These bars and fat shots and things may help. So if you want those, I'll put a link in the video below, but you can also see it on the sidebar of my blog. Okay, Roxanne Bennett says, what is Adapt products? Adapt is a company, co-founded with Dr. Westman. These are low carb and ketogenic foods that are true. They are not overly sweet. They are not meant to replace food. Dr. Westman and Glenn Finkel, the co-founders, both say, always eat food first. Eat your real food first. These are those things to help you remain compliant if you need a quick something. I will be sending my husband on his day-long traveling to Colombia, because he'll be in 3 airports and on airplanes for 16 hours. So he'll just eat a half a protein bar, and that'll satisfy him. Some people travel in their car. They're traveling people, and it's just easy to eat those. But they are true. And even the keto bars, they don't even ship them in warm weather, because they don't have any additives to keep them shelf stable. So while they're not harmed, they get misshapen in the heat. So they only ship them in the cooler months. So I don't even have any of those available right now. But anyway, I mean, imagine this. The opposite is a Twinkie, which can remain on the shelf for 15, 40, 60 years. Okay, that's not food you want to eat. This is food you want to eat. What you really want to eat is whole food. These are just convenience foods. Commercial over. Okay, hey, PhD Natural Me. Check out her channel. Casey, I have 2 people I know on keto losing their hair. What do you know about this? I have not had any hair loss. Of course, you got that great head of hair. Hair loss, when you change your nutrition in any way you do it, can result in temporary hair loss. Keto is no different. Trauma, physical, mental, and emotional trauma. Your hair is just very sensitive to that. It's not really losing your hair, you're just shedding more, and it will stop. It's called telogen effluvium. Also keep in mind that our hair, we shed our hair all the time in zones, right? You always shed hair. You find them on your shoulders and in your shower and your fingers and your brush. And we shed from this quadrant, then this one, then this one, then this one, and it's a rotating cycle. And sometimes they just all line up, and you start shedding from all over. It's temporary. If you went on a low-fat diet, the same thing could happen. If you went on a fast, the same thing could happen. Low carb, the same thing can happen. If you're under anesthesia for a certain amount of, anytime, it will happen. So it has nothing to do. And stress, any stressor, and changing your nutrition drastically is a stressor to your body. Not in a bad stress, it's just a jolt, it's a change. And stress can do it, yes, any stress. Writes PhD Natural Me. You probably could stand to lose some hair, couldn't you? Okay, I'm going to start winding up. It's 25 after. I want to thank everyone, but when someone asks me a question, I do try to answer it. Shanta Turner. Casey, do you know, or Shanta, I'm sorry, I think I mispronounced your name. If there are any negative side effects with keto if you're taking an antibiotic and steroids? I'm not a doctor. I don't think taking antibiotics and or steroids is negatively impacted by the ketogenic diet. It just that it might be more difficult to lose weight for a while. So there's that. But no, I don't think, oh, well, I've got to stop being on keto because I'm on antibiotics or steroids. To my knowledge, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, it might help you recuperate. Kelly Lassen, she's making a statement. Miriam, Casey has many videos to start. Yeah, there are a lot of good videos out there. There are a lot of good people out there. There's some nut jobs out there. So don't be careful. Be selective from whom you get your information. If someone is trying to sell you a product that will help kick you into ketosis, nope. It's not the presence of anything that you eat that gets you burning fat for fuel. It's the absence of carbs, okay? You could drink a half gallon of MCT oil. It's not going to kick you into ketosis. It's just going to go through you like a freight train for one thing. And you will have just whooshed out in an unpleasant way all that money. It's not the presence of anything that will get you into ketosis. It's the absence of carbs. Adapt products will not get you into ketosis. They just may help you remain in it. If you need something to eat, and if you don't have this, you're going to go into a convenience store and buy Doritos. You don't want that. And you don't want products that are supposedly healthy that are full of nuts and dried fruit. Those are the opposite of low carb, okay? And don't mess around with net carb crap. Something's got 11 carbs. It's got 11 carbs. It is what it is. Make your decision of how many carbs you're going to eat in a day, but don't futz around with, that was FUTZ. Don't mess around with net carbs, in my opinion. Yeah, Life Unboxed writes, keto is okay with diverticulitis, but be careful with nuts. Guess what? Nuts are not on the approved food list. Bam. Yes, absence of carbs. Real food, moderate protein with its natural fat and carbs of 20 or fewer a day. My work here is done. Nancy Hansen has the absolute correct answer. I'm going to sign off. You never need to hear from me again because that's the answer. That's the answer. Keep your carbs 20 or fewer a day, total, not net. Fatty sources of protein. Eat only when hungry. Stop when you're satiated. And by the way, 4 grams of carb is fewer than 20. So if you have 4 grams of carb, good. Very often I have 0. Today I've had 0 grams of carbs. Stephanie Shonian, net carbs is just an excuse to eat more carbs. I said this before, and my friend Cindy said, she laughed out loud. It would be great if we could come up with a way to say net wine. I'm just going to make up something. And I'm saying, based on the percent of alcohol, I'm really only having 3 net glasses of wine instead of 5 total glasses of wine. It is what it is. Okay, guys. All right. Have I'm expecting delivery today of my Keto Mojo net vodka. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if we could do net vodka? Keto Mojo blood ketone measure. I'm expecting delivery of that, and I'm going to try to do a a video of that. I met the founder and owner of the company in San Diego, and I just liked his story. I am not an affiliate of that. If I put a link down there, I could be one with another company, but I like this guy. I like his story. He's funny. So I'm going to try to do a video on comparing those things. I use the Precision Extra meter and those ketone strips. His is the Keto Mojo measure, FDA approved, and the strips are less expensive, which is one of the great things. I also got this product, hold on, which was sent to me, called Omega Power Creamer. It's made with grass-fed butter, coconut oil, and MCT oil, and soybean lecithin or something like that. It's supposed to help you with your bulletproof coffee, which you know I don't drink. But they sent it to me and asked if I would give an opinion, so I'm going to do that. If you do bulletproof coffee, you know, it's not something I recommend. No carbs, so it says. I'll try to do a little review of that. All right, guys. I am going to, what's coming up this week? I am going to give a plug for Patreon. I know several patrons are here. I do essentially every morning but Sunday. I do quick little snippets. It's just me talking into the camera. It's not a live broadcast. I just do it. Usually I'm in my robe and I haven't had coffee and I have a really bad bedhead. And I just talk, and that's open to all patrons. So is Discourse, the closed forum, open to all patrons as long as you're active. The food list is open to all patrons. I send it to everyone, and an activity chart and other things. I'm trying to come up with other things to do. So I do want to give a plug to that because it's become a really great community. And the Keto After 40 with Casey Facebook group is open. People do need to answer all 3 questions or else they are not going to be let in. But we've got about 36,000 people now, and I'm the only admin, okay? So if you see something, I'm the only person. There are no moderators, it's just me. It's 36,000 of y'all and one of me. So if you report posts to me that don't seem right or abusive or tacky, no one's gonna see that you've reported it. Just report to admin and I'll see it and I'll sort it out. Thanks, guys. I will be checking in next week. As we say in the South, God willing, and the creek don't rise, which is a real threat in some areas. I'll see you next Monday, 1 p.m. And I'll see you patrons every morning and on Fridays for the live chat, etc., and the group chats for those that we do video chats, and everywhere else. So thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your day. Take care of yourselves. Keep your grams of carbs, 20 or fewer a day. Fatty sources of protein. Eat only when hungry. Stop when you're satiated. Be mindful. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. And be open to the change that you are going to find when you do this. It's mind-blowing. Seriously. Peace.